Why the Quantumverse Capitalist exist. Coherence has no religion, politics, or economy. It simply asks one question: are you becoming more human? Can spirituality, consciousness, and capitalism coexist? Yes, when coherence becomes the guiding principle. Coherence belongs to no religion, political party, or economic system. It simply aligns human values with meaningful action. Many people believe spirituality and capitalism cannot coexist. The Quantumverse proposes a different perspective. The contradiction is not between spirituality and wealth, but between coherence and incoherence. Coherence has no religion, political ideology, or preferred economic system. It simply asks whether our choices create greater harmony, human flourishing, meaningful relationships, and responsible value for ourselves and others. Is spirituality compatible with capitalism? One of the questions I hear most often is, how can spirituality, personal growth, and consciousness live together with capitalism? Isn't that a contradiction? Perhaps the real contradiction is not between spirituality and capitalism. Perhaps it is between coherence and incoherence. Money is a tool, business is a tool, technology is a tool, politics is a tool, religion is a framework. None of these are inherently coherent or incoherent. They become coherent through the way human beings choose to use them. In the Quantumverse, coherence does not belong to any religion. It does not vote for any political party. It does not defend capitalism, socialism, or any economic ideology. Coherence simply observes relationships. Does this decision create more trust, more responsibility, more creativity, more well-being, more life? If the answer is yes, coherence increases. If the answer is no, coherence decreases. The Quantumverse Capitalist is not someone who worships money. It is someone who understands that wealth is one expression of human creativity and responsibility when it serves life rather than controlling it. Spirituality without contribution can become disconnected from reality. Capitalism without consciousness can become disconnected from humanity. But when consciousness, responsibility, creativity, and value creation work together, they become coherent. Perhaps our future is not about choosing between spirituality and capitalism. Perhaps it is about becoming more human, regardless of the system we live in. Because coherence has no religion, it has no political party, it has no preferred economic model. It simply invites us to live more consciously, more responsibly, and more fully as human beings in the Quantumverse. Why the Quantumverse Capitalist exists. A philosophical reflection on wealth, consciousness, and the law of coherence. For centuries, humanity has lived inside artificial divisions: spirit or matter, science or philosophy, business or compassion, competition or collaboration, capitalism or spirituality, technology or humanity. Each generation has inherited these opposites and has been encouraged to choose one side against another. But what if the greatest limitation of our civilization is not the systems themselves? What if it is our habit of thinking in opposites? The Quantumverse Capitalist emerges from a different question. Not which side is correct, but what creates greater coherence? This is the beginning of a different philosophy. The universe does not recognize our ideologies. Nature does not know capitalism. The stars have never heard of socialism. Cells do not belong to political parties. Galaxies do not practice religion. A forest does not organize itself around financial theories. Yet all living systems survive because something more fundamental exists: coherence. Coherence is the continuous alignment between relationships, information, energy, purpose, and action. When coherence increases, systems become more adaptive, resilient, creative, and alive. When coherence decreases, fragmentation appears. Conflict grows, resources are wasted, potential disappears. This principle exists independently of our beliefs. It existed long before human civilization and will remain long after our current economic systems have changed. The Quantumverse Capitalist begins with the recognition that coherence is the primary law. Every other system is secondary. Capitalism is not the enemy. Many people associate capitalism with greed. Others associate socialism with dependency. Others associate spirituality with poverty. Others associate science with cold rationality. These associations are stories. None of these systems are inherently ethical or unethical. They are human creations. A hammer can build a home. The same hammer can destroy one. Money can educate millions. Money can finance destruction. Artificial intelligence can amplify wisdom. Artificial intelligence can amplify manipulation. Technology possesses no morality. Markets possess no morality. Institutions possess no morality. Human beings create morality through the quality of their relationships. The real question is never, which system do we choose? The deeper question is, can this system become coherent with life? Why the Quantumverse Capitalist exists. The Quantumverse Capitalist exists because humanity has entered an era where intelligence itself has become the world's most valuable resource. Not information. Information is abundant, not technology. Technology is becoming universal, not capital. Capital moves easily across borders. The scarce resource of the future is coherent intelligence, the ability to integrate knowledge, to connect disciplines, to build trust, to think long-term, to create value without destroying the foundations that sustain value. This requires a different kind of entrepreneur, a different investor, a different researcher, a different leader. The Quantumverse Capitalist is not defined by net worth. The Quantumverse Capitalist is defined by the ability to increase coherence wherever they participate. Wealth is a measure of relationships. Traditional economics often measures wealth through accumulation. The Quantumverse measures wealth through relationships, knowledge, health, trust, community, creativity, meaning, time, financial resources. These are not separate forms of wealth. They are interconnected expressions of coherence. A wealthy society with collapsing mental health is incoherent. A wealthy entrepreneur without meaningful relationships is fragmented. A profitable company unable to receive strategic intelligence has lost coherence. A spiritual community unable to create economic sustainability has also lost coherence. Coherence does not reject financial wealth. It simply refuses to isolate it from every other dimension of human flourishing. Beyond the false choice, humanity repeatedly asks the wrong question. Should we choose profit or purpose? Competition or collaboration? Individual success or collective well-being? The Quantumverse Capitalist refuses this false choice. Every living ecosystem demonstrates that competition and cooperation coexist. Every human being contains individuality and belonging. Every civilization requires innovation and stability. The future belongs to those capable of integrating apparent opposites into coherent systems. Intelligence is a relationship. Artificial intelligence is transforming civilization. Yet intelligence has never been merely computation. Intelligence is the capacity to create meaningful relationships between ideas, between people, between generations, between disciplines, between technology and humanity. A coherent organization is more intelligent because information flows. A coherent family is more intelligent because trust flows. A coherent society is more intelligent because wisdom flows. The Quantumverse Capitalist invests in increasing these flows. The new definition of leadership. Leadership has often been confused with authority, power, hierarchy, control. The Quantumverse proposes another definition. Leadership is the capacity to increase coherence. A leader reduces unnecessary fragmentation, creates bridges, facilitates dialogue, designs systems where intelligence can circulate freely, protects human dignity, encourages responsible freedom, makes wiser decisions possible. Leadership becomes less about commanding people and more about cultivating the conditions under which collective intelligence can emerge. Capital as living energy. Financial capital is often treated as an end. The Quantumverse views capital differently. Capital is stored possibility. It is the accumulated capacity to create future value. Money becomes meaningful only when it enables greater coherence. Education, research, health, innovation, art, community, environmental regeneration, human development. Capital disconnected from coherence becomes extraction. Capital aligned with coherence becomes regeneration. Living in the Quantumverse. The Quantumverse is not another economic model. It is not another religion. It is not another political ideology. It is a perspective, a way of observing reality. Every decision becomes a coherence question. Does this increase trust? Does it strengthen relationships? Does it improve learning? Does it preserve dignity? Does it generate sustainable value? Does it leave the system healthier than before? If the answer is yes, coherence grows. If the answer is no, fragmentation grows. This applies equally to business, families, governments, schools, artificial intelligence, personal development, scientific research, and spiritual practice. A new kind of capitalist. The Quantumverse Capitalist is not someone who seeks wealth at any cost, nor someone who rejects wealth in pursuit of purity. The Quantumverse Capitalist understands that creating value is one of humanity's highest creative expressions, provided that value increases coherence rather than fragmentation. Their investments are measured not only by financial returns, but also by the quality of human relationships they strengthen. Their businesses become ecosystems of learning. Their technologies become amplifiers of human potential. Their leadership becomes an invitation rather than an imposition. Their success is measured not simply by what they own, but by what becomes possible because they existed. The invitation. Perhaps humanity does not need a new ideology. Perhaps it needs a deeper principle, one capable of transcending religions without rejecting them, one capable of transcending political systems without denying them, one capable of transcending economic theories without destroying them. That principle is coherence. The Quantumverse Capitalist exists to remind us that business can become a practice of consciousness, technology can become an instrument of wisdom, capital can become an expression of responsibility, and wealth can become the natural consequence of increasing coherence in the world. The future will not belong to those who accumulate the most. It will belong to those who help humanity become more coherent. Because in the Quantumverse, coherence is the only law that matters.